Welcome back to the channel. I'm standing today. Why? I don't really know. I felt like standing. So, different vibe for the video, but it's my first ever proper TBR video. And I am participating in the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do by QWERTY. I will link everyone appropriate in the bio and also in one of the corners. But this reading challenge went on from last July to this July. And there is a part 2 that is starting in July this year. However, as that challenge is supposed to be even harder than this one, even though I'm a year late because I did not know about this challenge last year, I am still participating in the original challenge. I don't know if I will forever be a year late, if this is going to be a continuous thing that the creator keeps putting out, but this pretty much is 25 challenges in one. It is set up as a bingo board, and in it, it's a blackout challenge, so you want to complete all 25 challenges. You can play it as like just getting a bingo, but my goal and the whole point of the challenge is to really black it out. Another shout out, real quick, the graphics that I have for this, I got from Freshly Read Books. I will also tag her. Originally, well, this is so her her channel is where I discovered this challenge. She is on, I think this would be her third month as June. I just watched her second month where she's combining challenge 1 and challenge 2 into her own challenge. But I'm not going to do that. I am just using challenge 1, the original challenge rules. I have added different graphics, but I'm just gonna say that they're from her because I mean the base line is from her, and I'm just adjusting them to meet my needs. But I think they're really cute. They're all from Canva. You could get them. They're all linked in her descriptions for free to use. So go check out both of those accounts because this seems like a really fun challenge. So my goal is I'm starting it July 1st, which also means that I haven't really been reading this week because I don't want anything to not count for the challenge. This is a hard challenge. I will not be going through the entirety of this challenge in this video. I am going to go through and choose out some books for my TBR and then see where they would fit in the challenge, and each time that I go through one, I will then explain what it is. Some are pretty easy and pretty self-explanatory, such as 500-page book in one day, A to Z challenge. Let's just dive in. I am going to be showing some graphics of where the books fit, and then, but I completely removed any color. They're like completely no saturation at all, and those will show the books that I have not completed. So this is a TBR, but you know, for future months, we might have some completed books already in little spots. So it'll just be easier to have like blacked out, completely grayscaled cover will be part of a TBR, and then once it gets color, it means that it has been completed. So first up, part of this challenge is that I have to read. There's going to be like a lot of back and forth in terms of my editing because I don't have all of these like set up. It's fine. Okay. First up, every month I have to read a new release in that month. So for July, I have to read a book that has been released in July and have to read it in July. This July, so starting in a week from filming and posting this, Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson is being released. It's being released in the middle of the month. So, and her books I kind of fly through, so I don't expect any issues with finishing it. I'm so excited for it to come out. Unfortunately, Holly Jackson is doing a book tour in the UK and a book tour in the US. Usually this is no big deal because I have the great luxury of living in New York City and am able to usually go to her book signings in Union Square, in the Union Square Barnes & Noble. Wow. As many people know, and if you don't know, welcome to the channel. My fiance lives in the UK, so especially over the summers, I spend a lot of time in the UK. The week that I am in New York, Holly Jackson is doing her UK book tour for Not Quite Dead Yet. And then the day that I fly out is when she comes to New York. So I will not be seeing Holly Jackson this year, but I will be reading her book because I absolutely love her books. So, where else does this fit besides it being a July book? Only certain challenges are allowed to be doubled up, and in the actual bingo board, it's the ones that are the like bluish squares rather than the beige. Okay, so it fits in the ABC challenge for N. This can be doubled up in there. For the alphabet challenge, it can be the first letter of the title or the author's name. So I'm gonna put this in N because the other option would be either Holly or H or J for Holly Jackson, and H and J are those are all pretty common letters, so there's no point to choose one over the other. As a little extra alphabet challenge, there is a challenge to spell your entire name in books. And once again, this is based on either the title or the author. So my full name is Diana Bello, only 10 letters. I got very lucky with this challenge. Some people did not get so lucky. I did tell Connor that this is the one and only time. I am really glad that we're not married yet because I am hyphenating my name, so that would add 6 more letters, which is 6 more books. But we're not married yet. So I still only have a 10-letter name. Oh, it is also a blue cover. So another challenge is the cover is rainbow cover challenge. The rainbow challenge. So it is read a red book, an orange book, a yellow book, blah 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 blah. So this fits as my blue book. Because cover without the lack of saturation is blue. So that is really good, and that fits into 4 books. And also, I could actually give a description of what the hell this book is. Okay. In 7 days, Jet Mason will be dead. Jet is the daughter of one of the wealthiest families in Woodstock, Vermont. 27 years old, she's still waiting for her life to begin. I'll do it later, she always says. She has time. Until Halloween night, when Jet is violently attracted by an unseen intruder. She suffers a catastrophic head injury. The doctor is certain that within a week, the injury will trigger a deadly aneurysm. Jet has never thought of herself as having enemies, but now she looks at everyone in a new light. Her family, her former best friend turned sister-in-law, her ex-boyfriend. She has at most 7 days, and as her condition deteriorates, she has only her childhood friend, Billy, to help. But nevertheless, she's absolutely determined to finally finish something. Jet is going to solve her own murder. It sounds so cool. Holly Jackson does such an incredible job with just really interesting and like unexpected thrillers. So I am just so excited for this book. I've joined an in-person book club in the city, and we are reading for that. I joined the mystery version because they have a couple. It is called The Bearer. Oh, no, it is not. It is called Bearer of Bad News. For someone who hates secrets, I can't speak. For someone who hates secrets, Las Vegas hairdresser Lucy Ray is about to be faced with a whole bunch of them. After discovering that her fiance has been cheating on her with someone from his improv class, she finds herself short on funds and desperate for a change of scenery. Enter a most unusual job opportunity, a bearer of bad news. Sure, it's a little weird. The job description has few details, and the bad news is more like a vaguely worded threat. But Lucy can't say no to the perks an all expense paid trip to the Italian Dolomites, plus a generous bonus if she proves she delivered the message. Then she learns that her task is just the tip of the iceberg. Launched into a world of betrayal and greed involving 80-year-old mysteries, 80-year-old secrets, stolen jewels, and a World War II era mystery, Lucy is over her head. I can't speak. Lucy is in over her head, and she's connected to her mission in ways she never saw coming. I think it sounds so good, and I'm so excited for it. So, bearer of bad news. Where does this fit into our challenges? First of all, I am counting this as my mystery thriller for the genre challenge. Pretty self-explanatory. I have to read a fantasy, sci-fi, mystery thriller, horror, historical fiction, romance, nonfiction, and literary fiction. So, 8 books. And this one, I am putting in the mystery thriller spot because it's my first time going to a mystery book club, and that's really fun. I'm really excited. Okay, so once again, in the A to Z challenge, I am going to. So it's by Elizabeth Dinney. So I'm just gonna go with B because no biggie. There's a lot of time to do a bunch of letters. We're just starting out. B is a common letter, but all of those really are common letters. And at the same time, this fits into my name challenge, also for B. I assume that as we go through the challenge, there's going to be less like doubling up, which is fine. But while that is not the case and we're in the beginning, let's enjoy doubling up as much as possible. And for that matter, this is going to be our yellow book. It's going to be our yellow book. It's a yellow cover. So it's going to go there, which is good because I don't think I have that many yellow covers. So yeah, that is book number 2 on my TBR. Next, so I am still working on those 2 books I don't physically have. Not Quite Dead Yet, I'm going to be buying when it comes out. And Bearer of Bad News, fortunately, is on Kindle Unlimited, so I don't actually have to buy that book. But I am still trying to read through my TBR, do my page-by-page project, and complete my bingo board, which I'm working on. Have some progress. There will be a video out very soon after this one that I go through my progress from the last month. But that being said, I want to make sure that I'm reading the books that I own. Even though I'm adding this new challenge, I want to mostly get the books from books that I already have. Or services such as Libby, Kindle Unlimited, things like that. My next book is Tokyo Ueno Station by Yu Miri. Let's see. Born in Fukushima in 1933, the same year as the emperor, Kazu's life is tied by a series of coincidences to Japan's imperial family and to one particular spot in Tokyo, the park near Ueno Station. Yes. The same place his unquiet spirit now haunts in death. It is here that Kazu's life in Tokyo began, as a laborer in the run-up to the 1964 Olympics, and later where he ended his days living in the park's vast homeless villages. Traumatized by the destruction of the 2011 tsunami and enraged by the announcement of the 2020 Olympics. I have no thoughts about that description. I typically don't go into translations knowing anything about them, and they're usually a great time, so I'm not worried about it. But yeah, where does this fall in? So the initial challenge that I'm using this for is the different countries challenge. So this is to read 5 books from 5 different countries that are not the US, UK, or Canada, because pretty much every book is initially from the US, UK, or Canada. At least English books in English are typically from those 3 places. So this is where either the author is from or the book is from. So this is a Japanese translation. So Japan is now off the table. It is the only Japanese book that gets to count, which is not that fun because I do read a lot of Japanese translations. And I would love some recommendations on other books to add to this part of the challenge. I need to do some scouring, I need to do some research. I don't think anything on my shelves fits. Maybe like a random mystery. I know I did have one mystery that I actually ended up DNFing that was from Egypt. So that doesn't help me. But I might be able to find something on my TBR, but this might have to be a case of like KU or Libby to get these books because I don't really know where this fits. However, this book also does fit into our rainbow challenge. It is a pink cover, at least the edition I have is a pink cover. There's a couple out there, but I have the pink cover. This also fits into the alphabet challenge, and I am using this as the author's last name. The author's last name is Yu, Y-U. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I am very sorry if I am not. It is not purposeful. So that's going to count as my Y because that is a hard letter to get, I feel. Unless it's like your or something. It's one of the harder letters to get. So I'm very happy that we're getting that out of the way. Alright, that is book 3. I'm going to choose 6 books in this video. I haven't said that yet, but I'm going to choose 6 books. So, book number 4. What's my book number 4? Okay. Book number 4 is going to be A Court of Silver Flames. This is the only book in the A Court of Tar. A Court of Thorns and Roses that I have not read. I've attempted to read it multiple times. And I could just never get through it for some reason. But let's see. What is this book about? I'm sure everyone knows what this book is about, but let's see actually what this book is about. Nesta Archeon has always been quick to anger and slow to forgive, and since the war she has struggled to find her place at the strange and deadly Night Court. The person who ignites Nesta's temper more than any other is the winged warrior Cassian. But that isn't the only thing he ignites, and when this grammar doesn't make sense. And when Cassian and Nesta are forced to train in battle together, sparks become flame. The war looms again. As war looms again, Nesta and Cassian must fight monsters from within and without if they are able to survive, but the ultimate risk will be searching for acceptance and healing in each other's arms. So, this book is going to be for my 500 plus pages in a day. I have to read a book that is over 500 pages in one day. And I'm attempting this. I don't know if I'm actually going to succeed. But this book is 751 pages. And I think I could read that in one day. Theoretically, I read 60 pages in an hour. So 551 divided by 60 is 12 and a half hours. I might have to eat, sleep, breathe this book. But I think I could do it. I think. I don't know. I kind of want to try one of the harder challenges, like, sooner rather than later, so that if I fail, I have time to acquire another 500-page book. I'm going to get this book on my Kindle so I could switch back and forth between the physical book and my Kindle, because I think it's going to be easier to read on my Kindle because I'm not going to actually see the page number and it might just like fly by quicker in that way. But I'm going to try. I don't know if it's possible, but I'm going to try. But besides that, so for the alphabet challenge, A and N don't count, and I'm going to say the as well. So that being said, this is going to count towards C. Because once again, Sarah J Maas, all of those letters are pretty simple. So as much as I can, I'm going to just try to go for the title, unless the name gives me like one of the harder letters. And these are all within the rules, so there's no cheating involved. I'm doing this properly this time. It's not like my 24 hours where I do within 3 days. So it is going to be in the alphabet challenge for C. It is also an orange book. I'm sure we all know the bright orange cover that this monstrosity is. I know I could have prepped all this, but it's more fun to do it together. Anything else that this counts for? Oh, my notes say 4 things. That's crazy. Alphabet. Oh, it's a fantasy. That will do it. Okay. I read a lot of fantasy, so I'm really not worried about not making. I'm very eclectic in my reading, and I do read pretty much all genres. The only one I'm really worried about that I'm going to have to like try for really is going to be like historical fiction. But the rest of them, yeah, because we're not counting A or N in the alphabet challenge, I'm not going to count this book towards my name challenge. When the 2 A's in Diana have to be done, I'm going to actually choose a proper word that starts with A or a name. Okay, so number 5 is going to be the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. Now, I have a qualm about the Dream Harbor series. That the first book was marketed as a cozy mystery, and it was not, in any sense of the word, a mystery. So I don't know how excited I am about this one. I'm going in knowing that if there even is a mystery element, it's not actually a proper mystery. So it should be better. Either way, I own the book. I have to read it. And it's also on a couple of my other challenges. So what is this book? When a secret message turns up hidden in a book in the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, Hazel can't understand it. As more secret codes appear between the pages, she decides to follow the trail of clues. She just needs someone to help her out. Gorgeous and outgoing fisherman Noah is always up to an adventure, and a scavenger hunt sounds like a lot of fun. Even better that the cute bookseller he's been crushing on for months is the one who wants his help. Hazel didn't go looking for romance, but as the treasure hunt leads her and Noah around Dream Harbor, their undeniable chemistry might just be as hot as the fresh out of the oven cinnamon buns the bookstore sells. So I'm reading this book because this book counts towards the summer in the seasons challenge, which I think I need to create an entire graphic for because I do not see that one. I think I like that. Oh my god, I just did that for so long. Okay. This book is set in the summer. And one challenge is to read a book set in each season during that season. So, I will be reading the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore for the summer. Now, this also then counts for the alphabet. I'm going to put it in G for it's by Laurie Gilmore. Or it's by the alias Laurie Gilmore. Oh, Laurie works for the L in my name. One of the L's in my name, because I got 2. So gotta be scouring for another L somewhere. But we have 1. Okay. Progress is being made. And it is also a romance book. So it works for the genre challenge as well. So, alright, we're getting a lot of double ups, which is, I don't know how many double ups we're going to get for my last book that I wanted to read this month, but okay, so the last book that I'm going to talk about is The Hammer of Thor, which is the second in the Magnus Chase series by, if I can spell things correctly, by Rick Riordan. Thor's hammer is missing again. The Thunder God has a disturbing habit of misplacing his weapon, the mightiest force in the 9 worlds. But this time, the hammer isn't just lost, it has fallen into enemy hands. If Magnus Chase and his friends can't retrieve the hammer quickly, the mortal world will be defenseless against an onslaught of giants. Ragnarok will begin, the 9 worlds will burn. Unfortunately, the only person who can broker a deal for the hammer's return is the god's worst enemy, Loki. And the price he wants is very high. I read the first in this series in June, and I enjoyed it. I didn't really enjoy it, but I enjoyed it. I gave it 3.25 stars, which seems fair. But I do want to finish the series because the second and third are on my 25 and 25 books that I have to read in 2025, otherwise I have to DNF them. So this book unfortunately only fits into the alphabet challenge, but we're gonna get that. Like, I'm very impressed that we've had so many books double up, but realistically, this is gonna be a challenge that I read whilst reading. A challenge that I do whilst reading, and while some things have to be planned out, I want it to mostly be like my natural reading and to really just see like naturally how much I can complete. With all that being said, if I can complete this TBR, which I don't have a habit of completing TBRs, so this might completely change. I'm gonna do 2 videos a month about this series. I'm gonna do kind of this like TBR, where would things fit, what my hopeful goals for the month are, and then at the end of each month, I'm actually gonna go and review each book that I read and show where they actually ended up on this challenge. So I'm super excited. This challenge obviously was a lot of work to create, so please go and watch the original video explaining it. The second challenge is about to start in like 2 weeks. I think it starts the 7th of July. So it's a lot of fun, and I am so excited to see so many people's videos about them creating their own TBRs, their progress in the challenge. So I am saying this now, I am attempting to complete the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. And if you are still watching, please make sure to subscribe to see how my journey goes, if I'm actually able to do this. And yeah, I will see you in the next video, and hopefully in the next video of the series, I will have a lot of progress towards this challenge.